Good morning, children. Sai Ram. I welcome you all to the online class of economics. Children, today I am again going to continue with the same chapter, that is chapter number 10th, and the name of our chapter is Government Budget and the Economy. Children, this is the third video of this chapter, and in the previous two videos we have already uh, understood the concept of government budget. I mean, what is the definition of the government budget, objectives of the government budget, the structure of the government budget, I mean the components of the budget of the government budget, and thereafter we have learned what is the budgetary receipts and budgetary expenditure, and we have also learned that there are two kinds of receipt. The first is the revenue receipts and the second is the capital receipts, and same way there are two kinds of expenditure. The first is the capital expenditure and the second is the revenue expenditure. Now today we are going to cover up the last topic left with this chapter. Now today we are going to learn the budgetary deficit. What is the budgetary deficit and the kinds of the budgetary deficit. So let us learn a topic first, the budgetary deficit. Children, what is budgetary deficit? Children, budgetary deficit is defined as the excess of total estimated expenditure over total estimated revenue. So when the government spend more than what it collects, then it incurs a budgetary deficit. And with reference to the budget of the Indian government, the deficit can be of three types. The first one is your revenue deficit, the second is your fiscal deficit, and the finally is your revenue primary deficit. So now let us start with a revenue deficit. Now what is revenue deficit? Children, as the name suggests, the revenue deficit is the excess of revenue expenditure over the revenue receipts. So when we're talking about the revenue deficit, it is concerned with the revenue expenditure and the revenue receipts of the government. So it refers to, as I just said, it refers to the excess of the revenue expenditure over revenue receipts during the given fiscal year. And revenue deficit signifies that the government's own revenue is insufficient to meet the of the government departments. So revenue deficit is equal to revenue expenditure minus revenue receipts. Now, what are the implications behind this revenue deficit? Now, here, children, there are some implications which define basically the revenue deficit. So, what is revenue deficit and what are its implications? Now, the first implication says that it indicates the inability of the government to meet the regular and recurring expenditure in the prospective or in the proposed budget. So, children, when the revenue expenditure is more than the revenue receipts, it signifies here that the government is it shows the government's inability of fulfilling the basic requirements of the people. I mean, the government expenditure is obviously more than its revenues. So, because of the revenue deficit, children, the government may have to cut down the expenditure on several welfare programs in the country, which leads to the loss of social welfare. Second is, it implies that the government has this savings, that the government is using up earlier savings or some other sectors of the economy to finance its expenditure. I mean, the government is using the other kinds of revenues or the other dis savings to fulfill the consumption need of the economy. Third is the government may have to raise the funds through the borrowings. If there is a deficit, then the government has to have to raise funds from the borrowings. Now, this raises the liability of the government and it lowers its credit worthiness. So it also implies that the government has to make up this deficit from the capital receipts, that is through the borrowings or for reduce the assets. So if there is the deficit, then the government has to cover up this deficit either by borrowing money from the any finance financial institutions or from the other foreign countries, or he has to just reduce the assets. I mean, he has to reduce, or he has to sell some of the PSUs, public sector undertakings, or some other government departments to cover up this deficit. So, if there is a very high revenue deficit, it gives a warning signal to the government to either curtail its expenditure, and it reduce the expenditure. Government should take serious steps so that government should cut down the various you can say social welfare programs in a country. So these are the basic implications of the revenue deficit. Now the second variety of our deficit is the fiscal deficit. Now what is the fiscal deficit? Children, fiscal deficit is the excess of total expenditure over total receipts other than the borrowings. I mean here uh, we are subtracting the total borrowings, total receipts excluding borrowings from the total expenditure. So whatever the deficit occurs is considered as the fiscal deficit. So a deficit occurs when a government total expenditure exceeds the revenues that it generates, excluding the money from the borrowings. So, fiscal deficit presents a more comprehensive view of the budgetary tool for explaining and understanding the budgetary development in India, and the fiscal deficit is an indication of how for the government is spending beyond its means. I mean, if the government spending is more than its revenues, other than the borrowings, then it definitely shows a fiscal deficit, and which obviously present a most comprehensive view of budgetary tool of the budgetary tool of the government revenues as well as an expenditure. So we had a formula of fiscal deficit is equal to total expenditure minus total receipts excluding borrowings. Now, what are the implications behind it? Children, there are some implications behind the fiscal deficit, which is can be understood from the following points. So, the implications are a fiscal deficit indicate the total borrowings requirement of the government borrowings, not only repayment of the principal amount but also require payment of the interest. So when we either borrow the money from any foreign countries or from any financial institutions, then whatever the borrowings we have made, the country has to pay the interest. So this is again one cause of fiscal deficit. So fiscal deficit indicates the total borrowings requirement of the government, and borrowings not only the repayment of the principal amount but also require the payment of the interest. So government mainly borrow from the Reserve Bank of India to meet its financial deficit, and government also borrow from the rest of the world, which raises its dependence on their country. So borrowing increases the financial burden on the country. Now, so children, when we're talking about the deficit of the implications of this fiscal deficit, there are many implications as well, which has a direct you can say implication on a economy. So now the first one is you can see that the inspirational spiral. So children, the borrowing from the RBI, as I just said, is often linked with the inflationary spiral in the economy. You already know what is inflationary spiral. When the demand exceeds more than its when the aggregate demand exceeds more than the aggregate supply, then it causes a inflationary gap, which causes a inflationary situation in an economy, the inflationary spiral in the economy. So this is how it happens. The borrowings from RBI increases the money supply in the economy, and Meanwhile, if there is an increase in the money supply, it leads to an increase in the general price level. So a persistent increase in the general price level over a particular period of time leads to inflationary spiral, and this inflationary spiral indicates the borrowings from the RBI increases the money supply in the economy, and which again increases the prices, and just because of the increase in the prices they always avail an inflationary spiral. Now the second implication is the national debt. So, children, the fiscal deficit leads to the national debt, as we all know. It hinders the GDP growth, and because of a significant percentage of national income is used to pay the past debt. This is also one more implication. So, what I am going to explain with this national debt is, children, when we borrow the money from any other financial institutions or from any other the foreign countries, now it leads to a national debt. Our country is getting down of national debt of either any foreign institutions or from any foreign countries, which hinders the GDP growth. It definitely affects the GDP growth because the major portion of our income, what we have been generated from the various sources, is spent on paying the past debt, or of paying the interest on the debt. So it increases the national debt of the economy. And children, if there is a vicious circle of the high fiscal deficit, it indicates the low GDP growth. So, if there is consistently the high fiscal deficit, then it leads to a situation when GDP growth remains low because of high fiscal deficit, and the second is the fiscal deficit remains high because of low GDP growth. So the next, you can say, the implication is the erosion of the government's credibility. So if there is a high fiscal deficit, and it erodes the credibility of the government in the domestic as well as in the international market. So so the credit rating of the government, and it's lowered, and owing to the lower credit rating, global investors start withdrawing their investment from the domestic economy, and which consequently reduces the GDP growth. So next is the primary deficit. Now, what is the primary deficit? Children, primary deficit is basically the difference between the fiscal deficit and the interest payment. So we had a formula of primary deficit. A primary deficit is always equal to fiscal deficit minus interest payment. Now let us learn the implication. Now the implication of the primary deficit is, it indicates how much of the government borrowings are going to meet expenditure other than it indicates the interest payment. So as I just said, primary deficit is basically the difference between the fiscal deficit and the interest payment of the past borrowings. So difference between the fiscal deficit and the primary deficit shows that the amount of the interest payment on the borrowings which is made in past, and in India, interest payment has considerably increased in the recent years because of the high fiscal deficit, and high interest payment on the past borrowings have greatly increased the fiscal deficit. And if we want to reduce this fiscal deficit, then the interest payment should be reduced through the repayment of loans as earlier as possible. I mean, if you want to reduce the increasing amount of the interest which is paid to either the foreign countries, to other foreign countries, or from any financial institutions, then we have to repay our loan as easily as possible, so that we can reduce, or we can rid of the payment which is paid to these institutions in the way of interest on the borrowings. So this is all basically the three kinds of deficit what we have understood. Now we have some numericals to understand or to find out the revenue deficit or fiscal deficit as well as the primary deficit. So children, from the following data about a government budget, we need to find out the revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and the primary deficit. So what we have given to us, we have given us the tax revenue is 50 lakhs in crores, 50 lakh, and the revenue expenditure is 110, capital expenditure is 210, non-tax revenue is 30 lakhs, and capital receipts of borrowing is 140, and the interest payment is 20. So we need to find out revenue deficit. So we had a formula to calculate the revenue deficit, that is revenue expenditure minus revenue receipts. Now you have to find out the revenue expenditure, as it is already given is 110, and you need to find out the revenue receipts. So as you all know, revenue, how what are the various sources of generating the revenue of the government? Children, there are two sources of generating the revenue. The first one is taxable revenue and the second is non-taxable revenue. So the taxable revenue is 50 lakhs. I mean, the government has generated revenue through tax, that is 50 lakhs, and from non-tax revenue, that is 30. So the total revenue of the government becomes 80, but the expenditure itself is given as 110. So the revenue deficit here is 110 minus 80, that is 30 lakhs. So the deficit of the government is 30 lakhs. Now the second is the fiscal deficit. As we all know, fiscal deficit is always equal to total expenditure minus total receipts excluding borrowings. Now here, children, the total expenditure is not given, but the subheads is given. I mean, the revenue expenditure is given is 110, whereas the capital expenditure is given is 210. So when we added the revenue and the capital expenditure, we will get the value of total expenditure, that is 110 plus 210, that is 320, minus revenue minus total, you can say total receipts excluding borrowings. Now here the receipt, the revenue receipts is, as we have calculated, is 80, but the capital receipts net of borrowings is 140. I mean, excluding the borrowings, the revenue generated or from the capital receipt is 140. So when we calculate the total revenue, the revenue receipts is, you can say 80 lakhs, and the capital receipts is 140. So 140 plus 140 plus 80 becomes 220, but the total expenditure here is 320 lakhs of rupees. So when we calculate the fiscal deficit, that is 320 lakhs minus 220 lakhs. Now here the fiscal deficit becomes 100 lakhs. So fiscal deficit, the value of the fiscal deficit is 100 lakhs here. Now the next is the primary deficit. The primary deficit we can calculate by subtracting the interest payment from the fiscal deficit. Here the government pays 20 lakhs of rupees as an interest on the borrowings. So therefore primary deficit is 100 lakhs of fiscal deficit minus interest payment, it becomes 80 lakhs. Next is, again we have to find out the fiscal deficit and revenue deficit. Now same here, the taxable revenue and non-tax revenue is given you, that is 100 and 150, it becomes 250 the revenue receipts, and the revenue expenditure is 1500. So 1500 minus 1000 is the taxable revenue, and non-taxable revenue is 150. So 1000 plus 150, it becomes 1150, but the revenue expenditure is given as 1500. So 1500 minus 1150, the deficit becomes as 350. So the revenue deficit here is 350 crores. Now the fiscal deficit we need to find out. So children, we need to find out the fiscal deficit. Now net borrowings by the government is given, disinvestment proceeds given, revenue expenditure, revenue and capital expenditure is given. So always understood if the value of borrowings is given in the question, then it itself be the value of the fiscal deficit. So here the net borrowings by the government is given as 780. So 780 itself is the value of the fiscal deficit. So we had one more way to find out the fiscal deficit. I mean, you have to add all the expenditure, that is revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. That is 1500 plus 480, that is 1980, and the revenue deficit is 1150. So when you add these values also, you will get the value of fiscal deficit. So children, so far what we have understood, we have learned first the budgetary deficit, I mean the definition of the budgetary deficit. Thereafter we have learned the various types of deficit, I mean what is revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and the primary deficit. We have to learn their implications, and we have learned we have understood the two numericals as well of calculating the various types of deficit. I hope today's lecture will get you understand this concept of budgetary deficit of the government. And in the next video, we are going to cover up the next chapter. We are going to start the next chapter of a book, that is foreign exchange rate. So thank you so much for watching. Children, have a nice day and Sai Ram.